Yo, what's up guys? This is Cole from Capital Kings, and right now I want to show you how we made the beat for Don't Wanna Wake Up. So I've never actually done one of these things before, so if I mess up, don't get mad, but I thought it'd be cool to share with you guys how we made the song and kind of show you each track and how it all kind of comes together by the end. So the first thing I think I did was I loaded this marimba sound that I found online into an Ableton sampler and just kind of started messing around trying to find something cool, and I think this is the first thing I came up with for this song. Just super simple, I think 5 chords. Threw some EQ on it right here, cut out some of the lows and boosted the highs a little bit, nothing crazy. This OTT plugin, I love it. It's just over the top compression, that's what it stands for, and basically you just want to use it sparingly or else it can sound absolutely crazy. Check it out if you turn it all the way up. This is kind of will give you an idea of what it's doing. It's just squashing everything, but I only had it on 11%, so I think that's sounded best. Some reverb, some more EQ, but nothing too crazy. Next thing I did was probably add these snaps in just to give it some groove. Let me find this. It's 2 snaps I layered together. Didn't do much. Just cut some lows and boosted the highs again, and added some reverb. But once you put it in with the track or with the marimba, it kind of starts getting a groove. So that's that. I'm trying to think what would be the next thing that I did. Probably added this bass, to be honest. I came across this really dope bass on Splice, which is like a website where you can go find like music samples, and it has a bunch of cool stuff. So check that out if you're like an up-and-coming producer and you're looking for like inspiration or sounds or whatever. So this is probably the next thing I put in. Just OTT setting again, 21%, probably just squashing it a little bit, but I love that bass sound. I think it's so dope. So this is kind of what it sounds like all together. Next thing I would have done was probably add this pluck synth, which I really like a lot. OTT on it, boosting the mids a little bit right here. But I just think it's a cool sound. It like cuts to the mix really well, and yeah. Crazy like animal jungle sounds. It's like I always look for things like that to add to a track, just because I feel like it's super that like makes it sound more original. And I came across these, I don't even in Contact, and I thought they were so sick. So these guys, it's like you just don't hear sounds like that normally. So I was like trying to figure out a way to incorporate them in this song. Here's the other one. So those two kind of like add to the space of the verse, making it just kind of like weird but ambient kind of. Yeah, nothing crazy on these. I try not to do too much whenever I add things, just like EQ, maybe some compression or reverb, and leave it like super big sounding. But yeah, that's kind of that section. The other thing in that section is a pad. It's just kind of like giving that like, oh, something's about to happen feeling. I think it's like an organ pad. Just a texture underneath everything. Cutting the lows and the highs a little bit with a filter. I'll probably lift that up before it goes into the drop just to create some tension. Yeah. Next section was probably the chorus. Oh yeah, I love this thing. I think when we were recording vocals, we were trying to find harmonies which like would fit in with the lead vocal or Dylan singing, and he sang this harmony, and it wasn't really like fitting in as like a harmony, like when you like out front of the mix, like blended in with his vocal. But I liked it so much, I was like, we gotta figure out a way to use this. So this is what it sounds like by itself. It's like, yo, that's crazy sounding. So it didn't really fit in, but I started messing with it and I threw these plugins on, and kind of made it sound like a war brass instrument or something crazy, and it just like fits as a layer texture in the background. I thought it was super sick. This section is pretty much the same as the last one. I just added a snare, I think, like a build snare. Then added a riser. I think, yeah. Super simple. And then this tom loop, which is kind of like what gives the whole track that like bounce feel and makes it kind of feel good, you know. This thing. So by itself it sounds kind of like weird, but like this is the beat. It comes in right there. So. Oh yeah, and then I found this really sick sound. I called it the Lion King sound because it sounds so crazy. I knew I wanted to have something like before the drop, because a lot of EDM does that, like 3, 2, 1. But I didn't want to do something like cheesy like that, like a 3, 2, 1 sample or something dumb. So I was looking for something kind of interesting sounding, and I thought this was super cool. I found it on Splice again. Which I think is super dope. And then now the drop. So a lot of this is the same thing throughout the entire song, like the plucks that I showed you earlier. It's the same thing. The only thing that changes is this plugin. I have this plugin called Kickstart. It's pretty cool. It gives everything this bounce. Without it, it kind of sounds like this. static, but when you throw this on, it starts to have that bounce to it, and which it will make you rock your head a little bit more. So that's probably thrown on everything. Yep, it's all on the bass too. That's on this bass too. And the sub probably, I would think, yeah. A lot of people are like, use stock sounds, Ableton stock sounds. Like, how do you use those? They sound bad. And I'm like, I think they sound great. This hip hop bass is like so versatile. You can use it. You can make an 808 out of it. You can like distort it if you want it to sound super grimy. The tone thing's cool. It cuts out the lows a little bit. This drop thing's really sick. If you want to make an 808, it'll just pitch it down to make it go boom, boom. Sometimes people want that. This is the first time you'll hear a kick in the song, and I kind of wanted to do that on purpose, just like create this like spatial like vibe for the verses and the choruses, and wait for that kick to come in the drop so it hits you like heavy. And this is the kick I ended up using. Super simple. It's just a sample that I found somewhere that I probably had. A little bit of EQ and some glue compression. This will help get it to punch through your mix. This is the bottom kick. I layered 2 kicks together. This is the bottom kick. Super tight and punchy. And then the other layer is just the top, the click, to make it, just come through a little bit more. And that's this. Just a super easy thing to do. Cut out the lows and just use the click sound. Together they sound like this. There's a lot of layers to this drop, which is what makes it sound unique, I think. And one thing is this shaker loop. There's a lot of like top loops or percussion stuff going on, which gives it that like really like rhythmic feel. That's one layer. The next layer is this hat loop, I would think, giving it that bounce. Then this is like, you would never hear this just listening to the song, but like this does so much. This is like a really crazy percussion loop I found, and I like the way it like kind of filled up the space in the drop. Like you would never like hear that unless I just like did this video and like soloed it out. But yeah, I'll show you with it and without it. You'll see how much it does. So without it, it's like this. And then with it, you'll feel the groove come in a little bit more. Kind of cool. So the main sound in the drop is actually, I think, a vocal that I came across in Contact, yeah, and I added some crazy stuff to it. This is it without anything. Kind of dark. too dark to be like a lead and a drop. So I ended up throwing this resonant EQ thing that's I've never seen anybody use this. I don't know. I just was like messing around trying to like come up with something, make it sound cool, and I ended up throwing this on and I thought it was dope. You can't really hear it, but it's resonating certain frequencies and kind of making certain frequencies brighter. And then I threw on this Serum Effects thing, which is like I use all the time. I think it's awesome. It's like it's got everything. A hyper dimension thing. I don't even know what that is. Distortion, flanger, phaser, chorus compressor. I ended up using the multiband compressor, and I don't think the EQ is doing anything. But yeah, this is a great tool, like to get really interesting sounding stuff, and then yeah, so with all that on, it sounds like this. And that's just one vocal to the drop. The other one is this, and it's actually, yeah, I cut it up. It was already a melody, and I pitched it up, obviously super high. Put some EQ on it. This Valhalla plugin is super sick. It's like one of my favorite reverbs to use. Without it, it sounds like this. And with it, it sounds like this. Kind of just making it more ambient sounding. That's pretty much all that's new to it. Added things like this huh. I always look for like weird vocal samples like that, just to make it super like unique sounding. I like the texture of it. Oh yeah, this is crazy sounding. It's this sample. I don't know where I found that or why I even thought that would sound good, but it kind of does. It's halfway through the drop, kind of giving that like you know, that moment right before it comes back in on the second half, something to switch it up a little bit, and this is what it is in the song. I think yeah, just threw some delay on it, reverb, and some EQ. This is what it sounds like. That's how. Yeah, so I thought that was cool. Now let's talk about the vocals. This song was actually written all in one, I think all in one session. It was me and Dylan on tour in the back of our bus, and it came together super quick. I think it only took us like a total of like 2 hours to make the whole song. And I always feel like when you write a song and produce a song that quick, it's normally like a good song. Like, and this is actually probably one of my favorite songs you've ever done. But when things just happen quick like that, you're just like, it's something special normally. So yeah, so we cut his vocals when we got off the road back here in the studio, and yeah, I liked Dylan's voice on this song a lot. This is probably one of the songs I think he kills the hardest. But I think, yeah, this is the vocals. Let me see, turn all this on.
Stuck in the dreams, I'll keep sleeping. So numb, I feel no pain at all.
So I guess I probably cut this in another session just to like, probably because I was getting some CPU issues, like bogging down my computer, and I processed the vocal in the other session, which I don't normally like to do, but I guess I ended up doing it for this song. So all I ended up adding in this session is just a compressor, the CLA2A, probably just smoothing everything out. This one thing, this was like probably the last thing I did with his vocals. I came up with this part, I cut it up, and made it sound super weird. This thing. It's the first thing you hear in the song, and the last thing you hear. So that's the intro, and then the outro is like this. So what I probably did was throw these plugins on, obviously, but this is probably what's making it sound super like it's not him actually singing. I like to use this guy, this Evo Autotune, because it keeps it all like in the same register. It's not technically changing the pitch. It's just like messing with the format, and it's making it sound like not robotic, but kind of crazy. So I messed with this and ended up liking it at 120. So that's doing a lot already, and I think I probably just put some saturation on it, and this filter EQ'd out some of the highs that were getting in the way probably, and then this CLA2A to smooth it out. So that's that. Yeah, so that's really how we made Don't Wanna Wake Up. I hope you enjoyed the video. If y'all are into these things, comment below, let me know. I'll try to get better at them. I don't really know what I'm doing. This is my first time ever doing it, but I hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching.